Hi, welcome back. In today's video, we will see how to set up AWS CLI on Windows machine. Using AWS CLI, we can manage AWS resources in command line by automated scripts. So the agenda for today's lecture. First, we will go and install AWS command line interface, AWS CLI. And then we will go and create IAM user and we will configure this user in command line. And third, we will use environment variables. We will set up CLI using the environment variables. Then finally, we will check what is CLI configuration of precedence. Let's get started. Now I am in the AWS documentation for installing the latest version of AWS CLI. If I scroll down, I can see the options to install it for Linux, Mac OS. For this purpose, for this video, I am going to install it for Windows. So once I opened it, then I will find various options to install AWS. Here I am going to click this link, download and run AWS MSC installer. So I am going to click here to install from this link. Okay. Now I am installing the CLI. Click next, accept the agreement, next, install. It's currently installing. Excellent. Installation is completed. Click finish. Now let us go and run this command. Then I am starting the command prompt. Type AWS -- version. Excellent. Now we got installed with AWS CLI. So we have done with step number 1. Now let us proceed with step number 2. We'll create a new IAM user and configure from the command line. Okay. For this, I have logged into the console and then I am selecting the IAM menu. I am going to the IAM menu. From the IAM menu, users, I'm going to create new user, create user. The username, I will just type dev admin. This for the development. So I have given the name dev admin. I will not check this option because this user will not use console to log in. Instead, we are going to give him a programmatic access through CLI. So this is fine. Just click next. I have admin group. For the demo purpose, I am going to assign this user as administrator. So AWS follows least privilege access needs to be given to the users. But for the demo purpose, I am giving administrator access. So I am just adding this user to the admin group. Select this and give next and create user. So this user is been created. Click this user, open it. We have to go to the security credentials because we have to create the access keys for this user. So scroll down, you will find access keys, create access key. And you are provided with various options. Now, since we are configuring for CLI, select the command line interface. Okay. And I understand. Click the confirmation. I understand the above recommendation. Want to proceed to create access key. Click next and create access key. So for the first and final time, you have been provided with access key in the console itself. Hereafter, this will not be shown in the console. Instead, you have to download the CSV file and keep it safe. Now, this is the test user. I am going to remove it anyway after this demo. So I am going to show this user secret key. Okay, now I am going to configure this access key and secret access key in the CLI. So to configure this user account in my CLI, I am starting my command prompt. I am starting my command prompt and then I am going to type AWS configure. Once I hit AWS configure, now this is asking me to enter the AWS access key ID. So I copied the access key and then I'm pasting the access key. Now this time this is asking the AWS secret access key. So this is a secret access key. I copied, then pasted. Then it is asking the default region name. I am going to use the default region. My default region is US East 1. US East 1. Then this is asking me what is output format. I want output to be formatted in JSON type. So done. Now to test it, I'm going to type a few commands. So AWS STS get caller identity. Once I hit this, then I have been provided with a newly created user account, dev admin. So currently my CLI have been configured with this user account. For example, I can make any API calls. For example, AWS IAM list users. So this call, whatever call I make, I have been provided the credential of this dev admin credential. So now I am getting the response. The list of user accounts are fetched from the my AWS account and shown here. You will also see the AWS folder will be created for our user account. For example, if I click, then you can see AWS folder, .aws folder. Inside it, this will create config and credentials. The config file, if you open it, you will find our settings like the region and output format, and the credential file will have the credentials like access key and secret access key. So our AWS CLI configured with newly created IAM user account successfully. Now let us go and create another user account, another IAM user account, but this time we will set up this as a environment variable in CLI. So I am back to the console and I clicked IAM. I'm going to create another user, create user. So I put the name dev admin 2 this time, dev admin 2 this time, and no need to check this one because this is also again going for CLI configuration. Click next. The same way I'm going to assign this user for the admin and belong to admin group who will have administrator access for this demo purpose. Click next and create user. Dev admin 2 has been created. Click and open security credentials, and this time we are going to create access keys for this second user. Click create access key and select command line interface option and then check this button, confirmation button. Click next. Create access key and download this CSV file. Okay, now we have been provided new access key for this account, access key and secret access key, but this time we are going to give it for the environment variables. Now let us go and prepare the scripts. I open Notepad, new script. I'm going to copy these scripts for environment variables. Control C. Now I'm going to copy these new keys, access key, I'm copying this access key, secret access key, and secret access key, and my default region is US East 1, and I'm also going to add one more variable, AWS output format. JSON. Okay, now I will copy one by one and execute in the command prompt. Specified value was saved, and second one, done, third one, done, then fourth one, done. Now let me open environment variables, edit environment variables. Now you can see all my AWS environment variables are saved. All right. Now open the command prompt and run the caller identity method, caller identity API call. Now let me try AWS STS get caller identity. Now this time I have been provided with dev admin 2, not dev admin 1, because the environment variable have higher precedence. CLI configuration, the order of precedence is, if you provide the credentials in the command line, that will take the highest precedence. Then the next precedence will go to the environment variables. Finally, it will go to the config file, which is credential file. Okay, this is the order of flow. Yes, environment variables are highest precedence, having the highest precedence. That's why we are able to see in our command line comes with, when we query the call get caller identity, when we query the get caller identity, we get dev admin 2 user. Okay, so far we have seen how to set up AWS CLI on Windows machine. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time with another interesting AWS topic.